Direction for Our Times. Apostolate of the Returning King. Volume 10. Jesus Speaks to His Apostles. September 23, 2004. Jesus Speaks. Dear children, I dedicate this little volume to my servants, those who seek to spread my message of love and salvation. Dearest souls, so bravely serving the kingdom, your reward will be great. Many of you have been pulled from sin and darkness yourselves and brought to the light. I welcomed your return as if you were my only child. The place reserved for you in my heart felt complete when you came back to me. Truly and completely do I love you. Now, we must seek out others. You will find them everywhere, and this is why you are serving everywhere. The souls who are at risk of eternal separation from me are in each area of the worldly domain. Some are poor, some are wealthy. Some are looked down upon and some are highly respected. Some claim goodness, and some do not hide their affinity with the enemy. Regardless, I want them all. In this volume, I intend to instruct you on how to reclaim what is ours, the souls of our brothers and sisters. The first strategy for bringing others to heaven is setting an example of joy in service. Yes, many of you are being asked to suffer for me and I thank you. Remember that if you are suffering, you must always unite your grief and pain to my grief and pain. You must say, I suffer because my Jesus is suffering. So be it. I will accept your yes and use it powerfully for necessary redemptive graces. You are cooperating with me and your cooperation with me is helping me to save souls. Rest in that because it is truth. You must begin to equate even your smallest crosses to so many souls rescued from darkness. Children, I know you are limited by your earthly vision. I understand. But this is the time to believe with dedication. We agreed, you and I, that if you made a decision for me, you would serve, regardless of your feelings on any given day. One way to serve is to offer your little sufferings to me continually. Again I say to you, suffering saves souls. Be at peace in these crosses, united to my cross, and set the example of joy in service. This is the first way we will draw souls from the darkness. September 24, 2004. Jesus Speaks. I do not spare my friends, it is true. If you are my friend, you will know suffering. Through your sufferings, you will know me. I will visit you with grief perhaps. I may visit you with hardships and trying situations. Perhaps you will know me in sickness or emotional difficulties. If you are my friend, you will know suffering. So why do I do this? Why do I allow my dear servants pain and suffering when truly I am the all-powerful God who can literally abduct the wind if I choose? My dearest little slaves, I am the king, but my kingdom is not of this world. This world belongs to me, of course, and I am ultimately in control of it, as you will see in your future. But you would not give an infant a book on the divinity of Christ. It would be meaningless to that infant. First, you must teach that infant to read. Before that, you must nurture the infant with physical nourishment and a great deal of love. Only then will the infant become predisposed to cooperate with the learning process that must occur to learn to read. There is indeed a great deal that must occur before a subject of my kingdom can study the divinity of Christ. Let me give you another example. The infant, as he is learning to walk, often looks up to his mother and says, "Carry me." Often you will hear a mother say, "No, my little one. I prefer that you walk." Could the mother lift the child into her arms? Of course she could. What reason could a mother have for allowing her child to walk? Is the case not often that the wise mother wishes her child to learn to walk properly, and then to run? To do so, this mother understands that her child needs to exercise the muscles needed to complete these acts. Well, I am like the wise mother. I understand that in order for my friends to experience divinity and the life of the divine to the fullest, they must learn by exercising their spiritual muscles. The more you do so, the more you will experience in heaven. You are not competing with each other, you are learning to love me. You are each created to love me in a different way, and those lessons are learned each day in your trials and challenges. Like the wise mother, I do not leave you toddling along by yourself when you are unsteady. I will never leave you. But you must learn. Do not begrudge me your sufferings, little souls. You cannot begin to imagine their value. September 25, 2004. Jesus speaks. My little serving souls feel the weakness of their bodies. Your bodies often tell you that you should rest, and yet, you see that I have additional work for you. Brothers and sisters in the vineyards of the world, you will reap the harvest with a steady pace. If you are feeling hurried, you must remember, something is amiss. You will occasionally feel the pressure to complete a given task, of course, but generally speaking you should exert a steady and constant effort in my service. Do not be like worldly souls who exhibit a burst of service, and then fall away from me. This is not helpful. Heaven relies most heavily on those who are consistent. So while I do not want you to pamper your body or treat it like a god, you should be respectful of its needs because it houses your soul, and through it I am achieving the most miraculous things. When you find yourself listening to a stranger and providing solace or heavenly witness, you must consider that I am at work. Without your cooperation, without your body, I could not be there in the way that the soul needed to see me. Through you I become physically present. Care for your body. Do not idolize it. September 27, 2004. Jesus speaks. My servants often have difficulty overcoming their self-will. Brothers and sisters, self-will does not lead to me. Self-will leads away from me. That concept is very simple. You may hear souls saying, "What is His will? Help me to know His will." Well, truly, if I am asked, I will answer. Your Jesus, who calls you so firmly into service right now, will not leave you wondering. Be certain you are asking me to show you my will in the silence of contemplation. There are times when souls know my will but find it repugnant. You must know that I understand this revulsion for the self-sacrificing that often accompanies my will. But children of the all-powerful God, know that this offering of your will can make you a saint quite quickly. I did not want to suffer great torture and pain in my body. Believe me when I say that I shuddered in contemplation of the cross. Yet, the cross was the Father's will for me. So be it. I shouldered my cross in humility and obedience, and through the cross I redeemed you. You are worth the sacrifice. And it was temporary. The sacrifices you are being asked to make are also temporary. You are not and will not be asked to relinquish anything for eternity. Your eternity, based on the beautiful merits of your sacrifices and service, will be filled with joy and reward. So you, like me, are being asked to carry this cross or that cross, make this sacrifice or that sacrifice, for a short time, so that I, through your obedience and cooperation, can bring other souls to heaven. Consider how important each soul is to me. Consider me, Jesus, in the form of my humanity. As I suffered anguish in the garden, I was tempted with every form of temptation. Let us say that the enemy offered me every soul on earth, but one. For stepping away from the chance of saving this one soul, I could escape the cross. Add to the consideration that this one soul might reject me and be lost anyway. Would I be tempted? Would you? Now consider that this one soul was yours. What do you think I would say? I assure you, my beloved, I said no. Do not hold back from me, little servants. Do not sidestep the divine will. Your family needs you and I need you. September 28, 2004. Jesus speaks. Dear souls of the kingdom, you are called to service. You know this. You have heard my call and rested in my anguish. I want to talk to you about your duty. Perhaps you hear my call and feel resistance at what it is I am asking from you. Let me promise you that you will be given exactly what you need to embrace your portion of this mission. Do not be afraid to stand beside me as I move into the world through each one of you. Souls will see you with their physical eyes, but they will experience me. Your fears, your hesitance, have no bearing on how you will perform for me. Do not worry about your ability when it comes to completing your duty. Do not worry about your lack of strength. It will come from me. It will flow deeply and completely from me. Your willingness to serve is all that is required. September 29, 2004. Jesus speaks. My dearest little serving souls, how I love you. You serve so diligently and do not realize at all how grateful is your Jesus. My gratitude could flow over you in such a way that you would experience it in your humanity. But if that were to happen, the merit from your service might be decreased. So I keep that to myself and place it in the most special place in heaven, your place. It will be here waiting for you when you arrive. All of your crosses, each one, obtain merit for your soul and salvation for others. The more unpleasant the cross, the more merit and salvation obtained. You do not see me, but you believe in me. I do not speak these words to you, but you know that these are my words. Children, I am working silently in your beautiful souls all through each day, all through each night. The gratitude is there in my presence. The gratitude is there in your peace. The gratitude is there in the quietness of your soul. You are not restless and unhappy like souls wandering without me. You are learning not to harbor unnecessary fears. If you allow me, I will eradicate all fear for you. I care for your interests. I care for your families. You are my disciples, my apostles. I cared lovingly for my first 12 and I care just as lovingly for each one of you. Do not think that your Jesus is not grateful, simply because I am quiet. I thank you for the smallest act and the largest crosses. You will have a glorious eternity, little soldiers. Believe this, as it is truth. September 30, 2004. Jesus speaks. From now on, I will think of you as my apostles. As I prepared my original apostles to begin my beautiful church on earth, I now commission you to reclaim my beautiful church. You have such great heavenly assistance. When I speak of my church, I am speaking of the body of the church, comprised of its people. You are to call them back to the safety of the family of God. I send you out as I sent out the first group. You are to speak freely of me. If a soul rejects me, hold no malice for that soul. Simply pray for them and move along, seeking out another. Often you are like a farmer sowing seeds. I, myself, must reap the harvest. This should not concern you because to insist on reaping what you have sown in this instance is not appropriate. Sometimes God is needed to ignite the divine. Use my words, dear little apostles. Spread them everywhere. Keep your words limited and allow me to claim the soul. You will soften the soul by loving the person. Your love and your example can predispose a soul so that I can find the opening I need. What joy is there in this work? How satisfying is a rescue mission when souls are saved? And they will be saved, do not fear. You will be successful, but only I can measure your success. You are successful now, are you not? You are following my will. You are working for the kingdom. You are preparing to go out into the world on the greatest work of mercy ever known to your world. Children, dear apostles, there is great kinship between you. Support each other and encourage each other. Do not judge, but neither withhold heavenly obtained wisdom if a fellow apostle is in error. I am your guide. Ask me if I want you to correct someone. All is well. We begin. October 1, 2004. Jesus speaks. My little apostles must climb steadily up the steep hill to heaven. By doing this, moving steadily, you bring many souls behind you. If you leave the path to examine this distraction or that earthly offering, you will lose souls. This is a time for sustained service. You have experience, and your experience tells you that service to the Lord is not glamorous. On the contrary, service to me is often quite dreary in appearance, when compared to what the children of the world are doing. While others amuse themselves, my servants are working. Well, dear ones, I do not want you to be downhearted, so at this time, I am going to give graces for my apostles to have the greatest joy in their service to me. Remember that others must be drawn home to their family. To do that, we must make them see that the household of God is a good and joyful place to dwell. So in each day, in each little service to the kingdom, you must accept my joy. If you begin to feel downhearted, you must come quickly to my Sacred Heart or to the Immaculate Heart of our Mother. We will replace your gloom with joy again so that others will be drawn. We are a family of happiness and peace. We are calm and confident. We know that God is good and that He is our Father who will not let us perish. Why, dear apostles, would we be sad? If you lose worldly possessions, understand that you have sent them here to heaven and you will collect them when you arrive. You will collect vastly greater things in heaven than you have given to me on earth because I am all generosity. So let nothing grieve you. Nothing. October 2, 2004. Jesus speaks. My little servants must follow their mother. Our beautiful mother, Mary, has been given the greatest power during this time. This is my time, but this is also Mary's time. Her power comes to her directly from the throne of God. Children, when you are concerned about the many misleading powers in your world today, ask this simple question. Does the power for the alleged claim come from God the Father who sent His only Son into the world? If the answer is no, then the power is being obtained from the enemy. Does this sound confusing to you? It should not sound confusing, because it is clear. If you are still confused, it is because you do not want to relinquish some habit that has gotten hold of you. Be vigilant here, brothers and sisters. There are impostors everywhere, and the impostors do not seek the good of your soul. The enemy, in the form of these powers, seeks the destruction of anything that is holy in you. The enemy seeks your soul. The Holy Spirit within you will object and warn you if you have been nourishing the Holy Spirit. Do not become involved with anything that reminds you of fortune-telling or healing. These habits are sinful. You will be held accountable. Speak out against them, warning your brothers and sisters. Christians in the world have become easy targets of the enemy's followers because they are lukewarm. Not my little apostles, though. You will know the truth and speak it loudly. Warn others, please. We are losing souls in this manner. October 4, 2004. Jesus speaks. My dear little apostles know great weariness. Be comfortable with your fatigue. See it as a sign that you are laboring for the kingdom. Nothing more, nothing less. Do not allow the enemy to persuade you that weariness is a sign that you should stop working with me. I understand weariness and I understand human discouragement. You might say that one feeds the other. I have spoken to you in the past about your bodies. Little apostles, I want you to get enough rest. By this, I want to state clearly that I refer to sleeping at night. I do not mean extended holidays from your duties. My apostles and saints throughout the ages always tried to live moderately in all things. In this way their bodies were treated with respect and could serve. You are children of God and you are true servants in a time when I have many enemies, few friends, and the greatest work to do. So heed my words, and if you are having trouble in the area of moderation, seek the help of your brothers and sisters who have gone before you. I am your beloved Jesus. I love you most tenderly. I will guide you in this area, as in every area of your time of service. October 5, 2004. Jesus speaks. I speak to you, my true servants. How I rely on you all. Each of you has a divine purpose and a role in the coming of my kingdom. Each of you has a certain number of souls who can be brought back to my loving heart through your service. If you say, yes, to me, I will use you. You are experienced and know this. But what I want to remind you of today is this. If you say, yes, to me, and allow me to minister to your world through you, you yourself will move closer and closer to my sacred heart. Deeply into my heart will I draw you. Deeply into the divine mysteries will you be brought. Little apostles, your mission involves your movement to me. Your holiness and your spiritual growth are linked to the fulfillment of my mission for you. So yes, I need your service. Yes, you bear a certain amount of responsibility. But the benefit is all to you. You will find your salvation in your mission. October 6, 2004. Jesus speaks. My dear apostles, how hard you work for your Jesus. How beautifully I am able to flow through you. You will witness many conversions through your service to me during this time because I am sending a great flood of graces into the world. Souls will return to me and then they, too, will join the rescue mission. We will grow in number and in strength. All renewals begin this way, and initially rest upon the courage of a few. I am pleased. Our Mother is also pleased because she is finding hearts open to her love and her service. Remain always close to her Immaculate Heart and she will sustain you, even in the most difficult situations. Difficulties will come, my dear ones. You understand that the work you do for heaven is destined to save many. As such, you will draw resistance, but it will not impact the work, so you may be at peace. This mission is divine in origin and none will stand successfully against it. October 7, 2004. Jesus speaks. My little apostles must put aside tasks that do not further my will. At this time, I am asking each one of you to bring the good news to souls. This is your heavenly instruction. I ask that you do this through your duty, first of all, because it is in living the holy and sacred life, following me in your daily duty, that I can bring you to holiness. This example of faithfulness will say far more to others than if you neglected your duty. So that is your first priority and you may rest in the fact that this comes from me. The second priority, then, must be the spread of these words. I want my words to move through your world steadily. I do not want a frantic haste, but neither do I want unnecessary delay. If you ask me to show you your role in this mission, I will show you. You must say, yes, to me. I speak to your hearts, little apostles. You know me because you follow me. Now is the time to let nothing distract you from the path to heaven. On that path you will find that I am asking you to bring this mission to fruition. This is the time for which you have been prepared. Many join the cause. Welcome them. Move forward with the greatest humility because you have each been chosen to do your little part. With your beautiful and total, yes, I intend to save many souls. Do not be distracted. If you find you have been called, answer me with love and you will find yourself immersed in heavenly grace. October 8, 2004. Jesus speaks. Little servants, seek only the divine will. On each day I want you to consider what I require from you. This means you will often find yourself realigning your activities to fit into my needs. Your time must be fruitful for the kingdom, and for that to occur, you must always ask me what I would like you to do with your time. You see that I wish there to be constant communication between us. This may seem like a burden to you at first, but you will quickly become comfortable with unity to heaven. If heaven is to flow through you into the world, and that is the goal, you must let heaven direct everything. You know that we in heaven are willing to do that for you. We know that you are striving to allow heaven to direct you. So all that is needed is practice. How often we have asked you to practice. You are coming along, little apostles, and you are witnessing the way it is to be, with you serving and me directing. Move forward daily, always forward, in my service, and you will see souls returning. I am with you in everything. October 9, 2004. Jesus speaks. My dear little apostles must heed my words in all calm. I am sending you the clearest instruction so that you have a clear vision of your mission. We are pulling souls back into the safety of the Christian family. We do so with love. My dear ones, I love you. I call you into service in all love, and through your service to me you will gain the greatest of graces for the intentions you hold dear. Do not fear that you will lose by your service to the kingdom. There is only gain possible for you. Give me each of your concerns and begin. Walk each day in the knowledge that you are fulfilling God's holy will for you and fulfilling your role in the kingdom. It is for this mission you were placed on earth at this time. Do not refuse me. Say, yes, to Jesus. You will be filled with my light. Step forward in faith and allow my divine understanding to come. To you. October 11, 2004. Jesus speaks. My dear little apostles, I will always be with you. You walk in the world and my graces flow out from you. Because I confirm you in the light, you spread heavenly light wherever you go. During this time you will begin to see this more clearly. This is a result of the vast amount of grace that is flowing through each one of you into your world. There will be those who will say that Christ's followers have always done this for the world. This is true, of course. But do not believe that these times are like other times. These times are different for many reasons. I am returning. The process has begun. Let none of my followers deny that I am working with a profound urgency. Despite the need for this urgency, I am also spreading a profound sense of calm and peace. All is well, little apostles. You have chosen wisely and you will serve heaven in all peace and trust. October 13, 2004. Jesus speaks. I want my apostles to understand that I am always seeking new souls to join us. This group of workers who labor for souls must increase. We must pull as many as possible into the field of labor. In this way we will bring many back into the safety of my Sacred Heart. How joyful is the service to heaven! Contemplate this fact often, dear servants. You are laboring hard, it is true, but not without success. My words and graces flow so powerfully into your world. All cynicism, all hatred, cannot stand before my words. My words flow over cynicism and hatred and destroy these symptoms of darkness. Souls want to believe in me. Souls want to trust me. You are giving them the opportunity to do so by your example and by your life of service. My dearest little workers, how you delight me. Truly, my just anger is abated by your humility and willingness. Do not be downhearted at the burdens you carry. You carry them for the kingdom, and each burden will win souls. Each soul is as precious as your soul. This should help you to understand my determination. I send you great courage today to sustain you in your mission. October 14, 2004. Jesus speaks. This work is of the greatest of importance because through these words I give encouragement to my little apostles who work so diligently for the kingdom. Dear servants of the returning King, you will not be sorry you sacrificed for me. During the whole of your eternity you will reap the rewards for having done so. In a time when few understand the concept of sacrifice, you are giving of yourselves, day after day, to bring about my goals. You are serving me and you are serving your fellow man. How many can say that during these days? In the days to come, more and more will be alerted to the cause. There will be those who will say no to me. When this occurs, you will simply continue to press forward with the work. Do not even pause, dear apostles, because this is to be expected. Simply rededicate yourself and continue, understanding that it is those very souls we work to bring salvation to. It can be a bitter job at times, walking with me, but only if you pause too long. If you are moving always closer to me, you will not become bitter. I send only peace and love. Bitterness comes from sharing the view of those who serve the enemy. I do not advise this, of course, except for the briefest moment to determine why it is that you serve the light. Service to me brings all that is good and holy. You will know my service by the fruits that come from me, and you will identify unity with me by the peace in your soul. When you are fearful, you must come to me for fresh courage. It will be yours in any amount necessary to accomplish this work. All that I have is yours. All that you need is yours. All of heaven, dear apostles, will be yours. October 15, 2004. Jesus speaks. My apostles of the light walk in the greatest of grace. My heavenly grace surrounds you at all times. You have heaven with you, and heaven will assist you in everything. The work you do for this mission will truly seem effortless on your part because while we in heaven are flowing it through you, it does not come from you. So you see that a commitment to this mission of mercy will mean that you serve me, but you are serving me anyway. You will not find that you are working more strenuously in the spreading of these words than you would have otherwise, because so much of what you do will be blessed by the most profound gifts of grace. When you allow me to flow through you, I do most of the work. You are merely the cooperative vessels. Dear souls, come to me often for sustenance. Confess your sins and remain filled with heavenly graces. I will never leave you, and together we will do the greatest things for the kingdom.